Honest to bloody God, this club never learns from its mistakes, unfortunately. But this situation we find ourselves in today, what an absolute disaster for Manchester United. Hey guys, good evening. Welcome back to the channel, United Red Devils 20 on YouTube. Hope you're all having a fantastic Saturday evening. Hope you had a good week. Hope you're all having a good weekend so far. Hope you're all looking forward to New Year's Eve and New Year's Day with 2024 only 2 days away from now. First of all, do me a massive favour, mate. Hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. United Red Devils 20 on YouTube. Share the video, hit the tweet button, hit the retweet button, and remember to always to put that notification bell on at all times as well to receive dedicated content in the last 2 days of 2023, today and tomorrow on United Red Devils 20 on YouTube for Fortnite, Rocket League, EA Sports FC 24, Fall Guys, Call of Duty is going to be coming in 2024, the new Spyro game, Avatar, and much more brand new stuff planned for these last 2 days in 2023 and brand new content coming in 2024 as well. And welcome to your Premier League final score between Nottingham Forest and Manchester United this evening at the City Ground on matchday 20th, the 23-24 Premier League season. Nottingham Forest 2, Manchester United 1, full-time score between both clubs at the City Ground this evening on another Premier League weekend, in which, again, Manchester United have gone one step forward and a massive another 2 steps back. Am I surprised by the way we are performing? No. Am I surprised by the way we are playing? No. Am I surprised by the demeanour of this Man United side? No, I'm not. That today was absolutely shocking. Like, you've got to start questioning now, where the hell are Manchester United going? What is the plan? What is the idea? What is the structure? Where's the planning? Where's the ideas? Where's the creativity? Where is this organisation that we are meant to be a well-run, oiled machine, and this football club is going to get back to being a club once again? Basically, just to confirm, we ain't getting back as a football club anytime soon playing like this. Another shocking result, another disaster of a Premier League game for Manchester United, in which Nottingham Forest have got back-to-back wins under Nuno Espirito Santo now. Gibbs-White scoring a beautiful winner when you've got two complete statues in Johnny Evans and Rafael Varane just standing there and letting Gibbs-White have a free shot on goal, finesses the ball round both of our centre-backs and basically curls it past Onana when the ball is already ended up in the back of the net, and basically no stopping the shot from the Gibbs-White goal going in. It is just absolutely shocking from Manchester United again this evening, which has been a very, very bad performance. That team was a disgrace today. I've never seen it as bad as what I thought it was. I honestly thought after the Villa result, we were starting to turn a corner. Winning that game through a late Rasmus Hojlund strike now looks completely inadequate of the way we are playing. And I think the players have got to take now a huge chunk of responsibility for the way they are performing as a team and the way we are structuring our performances, because that is simply not acceptable. You should not be losing to teams like Nottingham Forest away from home, especially knowing you beat them 2-0 last season under Steve Cooper's management. And today, Manchester United just don't look like a team that is completely behind this manager. We just look like an absolute car crash from start to finish. A massive shout out to BCFC for life in the chat, new subscriber and content provider on YouTube. Go and check out his channel. But it's just another piss poor Manchester United performance where the team just doesn't look like it's there. The performance isn't there. The character isn't there. The leadership isn't there. United are just playing bang average football with bang average players that are simply not good enough. And United did not deserve to even claim 3 points from that today. I think Manchester United knew they couldn't win that game. And I think, Gary Neville summed it up very well on commentary today. Manchester United players and that squad think they're playing okay when it's 0-0 and that they think they're doing all right to be holding Nottingham Forest out. And then as soon as we go a goal down, all of a sudden, it's like the players wake up from their long coma and basically think, well, we better get going now. We better find a response, because if we lose this, the press and the media and the fans and supporters are going to be on us like a rash. And unfortunately, the United players do not learn from their own mistakes. They don't learn from their own errors. And Manchester United are still the mess that they are. We are not going anywhere fast. We are getting worse on and off the pitch. And today it sums up that those players aren't good enough. That team is logically not good enough under Erik ten Hag. And again, 14 defeats in a calendar year in our worst run for 90 93 years. 14 defeats in one single calendar year. It's the worst ever for Manchester United in 93 years. I mean, to be breaking records, but all the wrong ones, it does say quite a lot about where we are heading as a football club. And it does say where we are heading as a team, that clearly these players are not behind the manager. They're not backing the manager. They're not doing what he's telling them to do. They're not listening tactically to his tactics or what the style of play that Ten Hag is trying to get out of these Manchester United players. This is basically try and get by with bang average players, with a bang average team, with a bang average performance. And I ain't surprised by the demeanour of the whole performance today. There was simply no urgency, a lack of character, no idea what we seem to be doing on and off the ball. And we basically tried to plan several different attacks and several different opportunities. And it just doesn't look like a team. This team looks lost. This team looks like this team just doesn't look like it's there. And I don't know why the team isn't there. I can't understand why we're not performing as a team. I can't understand why we are playing so shit. It is awful, awful football. The momentum, the tempo, there is no rhythm or structure to that Manchester United team. The team looks lost. The players are looking around at each other and it looks like they don't know what to do. Like, there's meant to be leaders in this team. There's meant to be, characters. There's meant to be charisma. There's meant to be attitude. There's meant to be commitment. There's meant to be desire. There's meant to be passion. But like I said, Gary Neville's right. They think they're playing all right at 0-0. As soon as we got 1-0 down, they think it's like, well, we better get our ass into gear and we better start performing, because if we lose this game, they're going to be onto us, like I said, like a rash. And unfortunately, again tonight, United are not learning from the mistakes. They're not learning from their errors. And basically, they are getting away with the same old shit, the same old errors, the same old mistakes, and basically think it's okay to keep underperforming against teams that you should be beating. I honestly thought that Villa comeback would have inspired Manchester United to go on again this weekend and win. This has been our worst calendar year in 93 years. I want to be breaking records, but all the right ones. I don't want to be breaking records, but all the wrong records, because Ten Hag is not helping himself here. Ten Hag has got a team of bottlers that don't care, that aren't playing for the shirt, that aren't playing for the badge, and basically think it's okay to keep losing. You've broke a record today that is basically summing up our season now. We basically are trying to get by into Europe. And I think the players have settled that they're not going to get into the Champions League. The Europa League looks like mission impossible now. And I think the players are going to have to realise, well, if we can't get either of them, we're going to end up in the UEFA Europa Conference League for next season, which is going to be another major L for this bloody football club. But the Glazers and Sir Jim Ratcliffe are going to be sat there rubbing their hands together. Well, if we get Europa League Conference football, everything's going to be okay. At least it's money into our pockets. And then they realise if you don't win a trophy this season, that's another year without a single trophy. That's another year. So out of 7 years, Manchester United would have won one trophy in 7 years. That is not good enough. It is simply not good enough. And Liverpool Dude 674 says in the chat, if you think that United are playing bad, just be glad you don't support Slow Market Town, who have 2 draws, 14 losses and 0 wins all season, and are rooted to the bottom of the 8th tier. And BSFC for Life says, I feel for you. It shows how much you care about your club. Exactly. I have to care because I don't think enough's being done. I don't think enough is being said. I don't think enough criticism is getting to those players. Those players are not performing. Those players are completely lackluster. There is no energy in the tank. There is no rhythm or style of play. United are playing possession, boring football when I want to be seeing free-flowing, attacking style football. And Manchester United aren't producing any of it. And you have to wonder why we are in the mess we're in. We are in the mess we're in because the pure fact that Manchester United don't have any idea what to do on and off the ball. We've got a team of bottlers that are not performing. You've got a midfield that looks completely lost. You've got an attack with bang average players. And you've got a defence that is crumbling like a Maryland cookie biscuit. And Man United are crumbling even further and further and further behind their rivals. And the more we slip away, the worse situation Manchester United are going to find themselves in come the end of this current season, because this is not a great way to end 2023. It's an absolute fucking disaster. These players are getting off lightly with bang poor performances, and they think it's all right. It's not okay for me. It's really not okay to be performing like this. You are Manchester United players representing the shirt, the fans, the supporters, the manager on the pitch. And when you're not producing, you think it's all right, but it isn't okay. At Manchester United, you need to be aiming to win every single fucking game. And at the moment, you don't seem to really think it's okay to keep playing the way you are and try and scrape by every week. I honestly thought we turned a corner when we beat Villa. I honestly thought we turned a corner and we were going to start heading in the right direction I wanted to see us heading. But as soon as the weekend hits, it is back to square number one all over again. Same old Manchester United, same old fucking story. Those players give up every time they go 1-0 down. Those players give up. And the two Nottingham Forest goals are quite easy goals to defend, to be fair. First of all, the Dominguez goal. I mean, who is marking Dominguez in the Manchester United penalty area? Free shot on goal against Onana and against that Manchester United back four. No one's around him. No one's marking him. And no one is attempting to block the shot or put a foot out of it to clear the ball away, or even try and put a tackle in to win back the possession to prevent the first Nottingham Forest goal going in. He's basically stood there in a free position, and there's no one stood there. We are standing like statues. Every time we try and defend, we are just standing there, letting the opposition attack, and attack. We are standing there like statues. We've got a World Cup winning centre-back in Varane, and then he realises he's got an ageing, depleted and finished Johnny Evans, who isn't good enough to even play for this club anymore, who was let go by the club because he was no longer fucking good enough, and basically was brought in as a free transfer because we didn't have to pay anything. And everyone thinks it's okay to keep performing the way we're performing. I'm really, really, really sorry. This situation we're in defensively is shocking. We are nearly at 50 goals conceded in all competitions this season. 14 defeats in one calendar year, and the manager is going to get most of the heat after tonight. And people can blame Erik ten Hag as much as they want. But if you look at that bench and you look at the options Ten Hag had available to him today, what was Erik ten Hag meant to fucking do? He's got no Mount, no Casemiro, no Maguire, no Martinez, no Malacia, no Hojlund, no Martial. He's got 7 key first-team players out of this squad. But the injuries today are no excuses. It's funny that, Rasmus scores the winning goal against Villa in the middle of the week. And then as soon as the weekend hits, he's ill, out through illness, and he wasn't even fit enough to be on the bench or even start the game. And I feel for Rasmus because he got his first goal in the Premier League this season. As soon as the weekend hits, we don't have him available for team selection. And you're basically deploying Marcus Rashford down the middle when he's not a striker. And again today, we are basically misfiring and basically lethargic with and without the ball. We can't plan any serious attacks with the current crop of players we have. We don't have the quality. I'm really, really sorry. We do not have the quality available in this Man United team. We do not have it available. And people need to realise this very, very quickly. We need to realise we are shit. We are really, really shit. And the problem is, the more it carries on, the worse situation Manchester United are going to find themselves in. Because when you've got a misfiring front three and a midfield that is lacking any rhythm or any build-up play, and then you've got a defence behind the midfield who can't defend, I don't know how Manchester United are meant to play any convincing football with these bunch of bottle jobs. I'm really sorry. This is another disaster of a performance. That whole team are an absolute shambles. Every single one of them do not deserve any remorse from today's performance. And I think today we were screwed because we had no recognised striker. And unfortunately, what made it even worse, let's talk about the elephant in the room here. What substitution was made in the second half for that midfield? And then all of a sudden, it all went fucking wrong. Scott McTominay comes on for Kobe Manu. And I can't justify why that sub was made. I cannot justify why Scott McTominay gets the game time he gets. It's getting beyond a joke now that this guy gets in this United team, and as soon as he comes on, it goes tits up. The midfield battle is lost. There is no CDM role that Scott McTominay can do because he ain't fucking good enough anyway. And you take off a talented young 18-year-old in Manu who's got more charisma and more style of play than what McTominay has offered under 3 previous managers. And all of a sudden, we'll make that tactical sub to bring McTominay on for Manu, and look how badly that went wrong. That's not going to go down well with Ten Hag and the fans and supporters, because that is a tactical disaster. That is a massive, massive mistake to bring off one of your best players for a bang average Scott McTominay, who wouldn't even get into Leicester's championship team because he ain't fucking good enough. Soon as McTominay comes into that midfield 3, the whole team collapses. The whole team falls apart. And he's at fault for both goals, because the second goal, which Morgan Gibbs-White has finessely curled round 2 of our centre-backs, again, who are basically playing stuck in the mud, a children's playground game at preschool and kindergarten school, basically stand there and let Morgan Gibbs-White have a free shot on the edge of the Nottingham Forest penalty area, finesses it round both of them, curls it right round into Onana's bottom corner. And the problem is, Onana can't keep that up because the power and the finesse and the curl that Gibbs-White has got with that shot, it's too late to prevent. It's too late to stop, because Varane and Evans, again, are standing there like bloody statues. But the problem is, that's also on McTominay, because what McTominay does for the second goal, he goes out to help and cover Diallo and help Diallo out. But McTominay then doesn't realise he's left Morgan Gibbs-White completely unmarked, completely free of space. And Morgan Gibbs-White's got a free shot on goal and he's hit it first time. That is because McTominay is not covering the position that he should be doing in this team, is to prevent that type of situation from happening on United's goal. So McTominay is trying to go and do Diallo's job, when Diallo can't cover himself in any glory either. And I'm absolutely furious. I'm absolutely furious the way McTominay gets in the team. You don't need to go and help Diallo. Diallo had that situation covered. If McTominay would have been marking Gibbs-White, that goal doesn't go in because there will be no space available for him to have the free shot on goal. But you would have thought then Varane and Johnny Evans would have had the experience to be able to prevent that shot from going into Onana's bottom left-hand corner. If you would have put some type of block or tackle before he releases the shot. But because Gibbs-White has hit it first time, there ain't no stopping it. And Nottingham Forest win the game comfortably. And I'm not surprised. This is happening way too often. That is 4 goals conceded in our last 2 games. And everyone thinks that, we are starting to turn things around. It's going to start being okay again. We'll turn this situation around under Ten Hag. And that Sir Jim Ratcliffe is going to come in and work fucking miracles. I'm sorry to say, if you think Man United are going to turn things around and get this season back on track under Sir Jim Ratcliffe, who's got into bed with the Glazers and bought a minority stake for 25%, and you're looking at that performance with Sir Dave Brailsford, who really shouldn't be involved with the club because he worked for the Olympic GB cycling team. And then you've got the great Sir Alex Ferguson sat next to him in the stands, and he's probably wondering, what the fuck's he been brought in for? Because we're not a cycling team. We're not trying to compete for an Olympic gold medal. We're meant to be trying to get this club's glory restored again. This club is going to go nowhere under Sir Jim Ratcliffe, Sir Dave Brailsford, unless Sir Richard Arnold and John Mercer are both gone and the Glazers sell the club permanently. I want Sir Jim gone now. I am not giving him a chance. I'm really sorry. I am not giving this guy a chance because he's basically stayed under the Glazers and got into bed with them. And it is a winter's tale. It is absolutely a winter's tale for this football club. It's an absolute disgrace the way we are performing as a team. We are not going to get anywhere anytime soon performing like this. Situations like this are going to unfold the season. Another defeat, another L next to Manchester United's name in this league. Like, we are meant to be trying to restore Premier League glory. We couldn't restore our battery life on a phone. That's how bad I think we are. We wouldn't know how to charge a phone up. That is how bad I think this United team is. Because Garnacho and Hojlund were our two best players against Villa in midweek. And today, without Hojlund's movement or runs off the ball and a versatile striker to actually cause the Nottingham Forest problems in their back four, we had no striker because Rashford, again today, who we are so much better off without, is being deployed down the middle when he's not a striker and is expected to go and score the goals that we think he can score. And yes, he may got on the goal score sheet today, but that is due to a bad goalkeeper mistake by Matt Turner. And obviously Rashford has, finessed it and curled it past him into his bottom left-hand corner again. That was due to the goalkeeping error that he made. And Matt Turner ain't no great goalkeeper for Nottingham Forest. After that performance, I'd be changing my goalkeeper. But I just don't understand, like, what are these players about? Like, what are these players trying to prove? Because I am not seeing any improvement. I am not seeing any signs of this club is progressing. This club is moving forward. We are moving 10 times backwards again. And the problem is, the more performances like that, this situation is going to reach a breaking point where they sack the manager. I still believe Erik ten Hag is the right manager. We have got to stand by him. Sacking the manager is not the answer for this club going forward long term. Because if we bring another manager in, he's going to want his own players and he's going to look at this team and thinking, I don't want him, and I don't want him, and I don't want him, and I want all these brought in. The Glazers and Sir Jim Ratcliffe will not give him the money. Sacking Ten Hag would be the biggest mistake of this club. This sacking Ten Hag would be a joke because he's basically got a team that he knows on paper isn't good enough, but he's being forced to use certain players due to either transfer fees that we paid for them or maybe the profit in the shirt sales that some of these players are making through the club shop. And the problem is with these players, their egos are only going to get bigger due to the pure fact that they're playing shit. And I mean, fair credit to Garnacho getting the assist for Rashford's goal. But again, down to Matt Turner's goalkeeping howler again in Nottingham Forest's goal. I did not see how we were going to score today. I honestly did not see how we were going to score. I really, really didn't. And I thought to myself, this game has got written 0-0 all over it. Soon as Nottingham Forest get the lead, the morale's gone, the heads have dropped, and the confidence is shattered. They get the equaliser, and 2 or 3 minutes later, they're allowing Nottingham Forest to go up the other end and retake the lead. And that was due to the fact that Eriksen, again, has had a piss-poor game today. Eriksen was atrocious. I could not believe how bad Eriksen was today. And I like Eriksen. He's one of my favourite players. But logically today, he was so poor. Like, I could not believe how bad he was with the ball. I've seen Eriksen perform so much better last season than what I've seen now. Maybe the injuries ain't helping him, or maybe the age is catching up and the running of the way the game is going in the Premier League. But you would have thought today the midfield we had was good enough to outrun Nottingham Forest's midfield three. United couldn't get anywhere near their midfield because Morgan's Gibbs-White, Dominguez are running rings around Manu and Fernandes and Eriksen. Like, again today, the substitution of Manu is a joke. That is where it all went wrong. Manu should not have been brought off because I don't understand why that sub was made. Like, I thought actually Manu was doing okay in that midfield. He was actually doing a job on Morgan's Gibbs-White. And soon as Manu came off, you're bringing on McTominay to deal with Gibbs-White's threat. I mean, what idiot thought that was a good idea? And is Ten Hag being forced into decisions here? Or is someone else making the decisions for him? Because I don't think really he wanted to bring McTominay on. I don't personally think McTominay should have been brought on. That midfield was doing okay. We were keeping Nottingham Forest out, but they were still running rings round us in that midfield anyway, with Eriksen, Fernandes and Manu in that midfield three anyway. So I don't know what Ten Hag, again, was meant to actually do, because he hasn't got a bench option. He didn't have one bench option on that bench. Hannibal Mabry on the bench, Casemiro, Mount, Amrabat. Like, the amount of injury we've got is a problem, but it ain't no excuse, though. We can't use that as an excuse. These players should still be able to step up and perform. But the problem is, because the quality is not there in certain individuals, they don't want to play as a team. They'd rather play as an individual solo FC. And I think for me, that is where it's all gone wrong. For me, that is why Manchester United are in the mess they're in. That is why I think Manchester United need a lot better. The only way this gets better is if United spend any money in January. And after today, they're going to have to, because, again, if we go back to the front three, thank God Amad Diallo's back, because Anthony's gone off injured with a hamstring injury. Another injury to add to the already mounting up injury list that Manchester United have got. And you've got Amad Diallo, who did actually look very, very bright when he came on. There was actually build-up play between him and Rashford and Fernandes, and he was getting in the Nottingham Forest penalty area, something that Anthony has been lacking all fucking season. And I thought that is the spark we needed. I honestly thought Amad was offering something that we've not seen all season long on that right wing. And I thought to myself, there's a problem being solved here. Amad Diallo is clearly the direction we need to go under on the right wing solution, because Anthony, again, 85 million, what the fuck's he actually done since he's been at the club? His last goal for Manchester United was against Nottingham Forest last season, was his last competitive goal. So the goals have dried up. So I'm quite glad we've now got the option of Amad back in the team. And for me, probably our best second half performer. I'm not going to take anything away from Amad. It's his first game back from injury, but there is going to be rustiness there. There's going to be a lack of sharpness. There's going to be a lack of, that full going of the game, because he's only been back playing. But again, Anthony, there's got to be questions on why we paid 85 million, because that 85 million now looks like it is going to backfire massively. And I'm a big fan of Anthony, but I thought Amad looked a hell of a lot better than what Anthony did all game. And that is coming from a big fan of the player. But Amad looks like the better option. But again, we couldn't get that ball to Amad. We could not get that ball to him due to the fact that our midfield is absolutely shit. I'm sorry, but that is, again, why we can't score enough goals. It's because that front three can't get that ball received from the midfield three. And that is due to the fact that, McTominay, we've discussed this and that. And Bruno Fernandes, again, another game, he goes absolutely missing. Let's be honest here. What's happened to Bruno Fernandes recently? When did he last score a goal? When did he last create a creative opportunity for the team? When did he last get an assist? All I've seen from Fernandes is the last few games is hoof the ball up long, try and put audacious through balls into our front three that they can't get on the end of, playing audacious long passes that none of our players can get on, and the ball runs out of play for either a goal kick, throw-in or a corner. I don't see what's happened to Bruno, but he's our captain, and he's meant to be inspiring us with his leadership quality that apparently we all think he's got. Where's he been? Realistically, where's Fernandes been? Because I ain't seen it. I have not seen it for weeks from Fernandes. Again, another one of my favourite players. But logically, should he be in this team if he's underperforming? No, he shouldn't. He shouldn't be in this team. But again, that is the pure fact of Ten Hag is picking these players due to probably he ain't got the options. I think if he didn't want Manu or McTominay or Fernandes, he wouldn't play them.
Take that lot off me.
Yeah.
Oh, pair of socks there.
Cheers, thank you. It's just getting a bit of a beyond of a joke now that Fernandes is underperforming. I don't understand how he's not out the team. Like, if Ten Hag wants to drop Fernandes, I think he would have the option to do it, but he doesn't have the players available to replace the quality that we know Fernandes can. But today, it's just hoofing the ball up long. It's hoofing the ball up forward, and nothing was clicking in that United team. Nothing was being made. Nothing was being created. We couldn't create anything. We were letting Nottingham Forest dominate the game, dominate the ball, dominate the possession, and control the game. And the second half, they were the better team. They were absolutely all over us. Like, you're letting Nottingham Forest dominate you. Like, the last manager to beat Manchester United is Nottingham Forest manager was Brian Clough. Was the last ever Nottingham Forest manager to beat Manchester United. Like, it gets worse. It gets worse. And I ain't surprised by it, because this is the team we've become. We are crap. We are useless. We are not good enough. And again, who really frustrated me again today was Garnacho. Like, I know he scored 2 good goals against Villa, and I know, they were pretty good, 2 good goals to score with his left foot. But today, like, I'm seeing the frustration that the United fans are seeing. He can have spectacular moments of glory, and then there's so much frustration behind his style of play. He's trying to take every centre-back, left-back and right-back on when he knows he ain't going to win the battle. He tries to get in the Nottingham Forest penalty area when he can't do it. I think he's quite selfish and arrogant with the ball and hogging it a little bit. And I don't think we are getting the ball forward, into the box enough. I don't think we are creating much chances in the opposition penalty area due to the fact that our wingers are constantly hogging the ball and not even trying to put a cross or a through ball or pass inside that penalty area for one of our left backs or right backs to run in on and put a decent ball into the box. Garnacho frustrated the hell out of me all game, and I'm a big fan, like I said, of Garnacho again, but today lacked any idea or any creativity going forward. And this is the same old mess. This is the same old problems, the same old mistakes. And if United don't help themselves, then you're going to have a team of players that eventually are going to want out if they're not going to start performing. And for me, I would sack the whole lot of them after today. I would sack the whole lot of them because that team isn't good enough. Like, again, let's talk about Onana. Like, for me, I think if De Gea was in goal, he would have kept both those goals out. And I'm a big fan of Onana, and I'm a big, big fan of his style of play. But if you would have had De Gea in goal, would have De Gea kept both of those goals out? Would he have kept both of them out? But the problem is, both shots are hit with such power and such finesse. Onana for the first goal is rooted to the spot and can't do anything about it because the ball's been hit way too early, first time of asking. And is rooted to the spot because his back four is just standing there. And Onana's rooted to the spot because Onana probably thinks he's going to go his left. And unfortunately, the Nottingham Forest player has gone Onana's right and put the ball comfortably into the back of the net. As for the second goal, well, like I said, he's completely blinded by Johnny Evans Varane. Varane and Evans should be doing a hell of a lot better there, in my view, to keep preventing these shots on Onana's goal. And are just standing there like statues. Lazy, lazy players. So Onana was meant to be the solution to the goalkeeping crisis. This goalkeeping crisis now is a crisis because nearly 50 goals in all competitions, 14 defeats in a calendar year, and the goals we're conceding are very easy problems to solve. This goalkeeper ain't the answer. This goalkeeper is not the answer this club needs. He ain't the answer, and I'm sorry to say, 60 million on a goalkeeper to solve a problem that was not a problem. And I think now it is a problem. I honestly, seriously think this is now a problem because if you don't solve the goals you're conceding, the worse the performances are going to get. And today, it summed it up. The goals we're conceding are costing us, and United have got no answer for it. And as for the right back and the left back solutions, well, do I need to say more? Because you know what I think about Diallo, you know what I think about Wan-Bissaka. For me, they are probably the two worst left backs and one of the worst two right backs I've ever seen in my life at this club. What on earth have we done to the right back solution? Because Wan-Bissaka isn't good enough. Diallo is atrocious defensively with the ball and let Nottingham Forest on the attack in several phases of that first half by conceding and losing possession and losing the ball. And Wan-Bissaka just jogs back and just passes the ball back to the back four. And I just don't understand why these fullbacks can't get forward. Like, we are meant to be getting forward with the ball, and we're not doing it. If you want to get forward with the ball, get quicker and more intensifying left backs and right backs at this club, because Diallo and Wan-Bissaka, if Ten Hag thinks they're the answer, then we're in big trouble. As it is today, we are giving Victor Lindelof a new contract. We've already agreed that. David Ornstein tweeted it on Twitter earlier on X. Why? Why are we giving Lindelof a new contract? Why? He ain't fucking good enough as long as Diallo and Wan-Bissaka are in the same category. We don't have the back foot or the two right backs we need to get into that, to create problems in that right back role. They can't get forward with the ball. All they do is pass back to the back four and pass back to Onana, and then we're trying to build from the back all the time. You need to be putting mounting pressure on the opposition with every single attack that you get, and they're not doing it. Like, that game was so massively winnable today if Manchester United would not have played the football that they would have been playing. And unfortunately, with the way we are playing at the moment, more results like this, the worse this is going to get. And Nottingham Forest deserved the 3 points. They deserved the win. They deserved the result. And both goals they scored, United had no answer to. And defensively, let Nottingham Forest have 2 free shots on goal. United players are just standing there. They are lazy players that are clearly trying their way to get this manager gone. They are trying to get Ten Hag the sack. We all know they're doing it. And we all know, unfortunately, this is going to get a lot worse. And for me, today, is Ten Hag in a crisis and is Ten Hag nearing the sack? I think now we have got to start having these conversations. The subs and the team sheets are baffling. The lack of style of play or the lack of rhythm is abysmal. The substitutions are a joke. I mean, what made me laugh today, right? We're playing Diego Diallo at left back when he's not a left back. And we've got Sergio Reguilon, who's probably been our best left back in years since he's been at the club, since the summer transfer window. And Reguilon, which I feel really sorry for the lad, by the way. I feel massively worried for Reguilon's future at this club. And I feel embarrassed for him. And he must feel very pissed off with Ten Hag, because Reguilon was brought in to fill that left back void that Luke Shaw and Malacia keep on leaving. Like, Reguilon was brought in to play first team football, and all of a sudden, since Chelsea, or even before the Chelsea game, Newcastle, and I think even before that, Reguilon has been massively kept on the bench, and I don't get why. Reguilon, who is a traditional left back that gets forward with the ball, who can put a decent cross into the opposition penalty area, who can bomb forward in the left back role, is left on the bench. And I don't get why we're doing that. He's one of our better players. And Reguilon ain't getting any game time. He's cemented to the bench. What did he do? What did Ten Hag do? Get Bob the Builder and his crew to fucking cement the bench? Like, I don't get why Reguilon has been kept on that bench for way too long. And I don't get why we've done it. Like, it does not make any sense why Reguilon is not playing at left back when we need a traditional left back who can get forward with the ball and actually rush back to defend. Because Diallo can't do that. Diallo's getting found out on way too many occasions. He ain't good enough. And nor is Wan-Bissaka. They can't defend either. They are awful players. And the problem is, the more awful players we get, the situation we're going to get in is going to get to a critical point where we are going to have to go out and do something massively in January to turn this shit around, because I don't trust those players to go to the end of May now. That's gone. I've lost the trust. For me, this trust is gone with these players. That enough's enough now. Enough is enough. Because I'm sick of it. I'm absolutely sick and tired of the excuses. I'm tired of the bullshit. I'm tired of the errors. I'm tired of the same old mistakes. We are meant to be progressing. We can't progress more than Take That's album progress when they brought bloody Robbie Williams back into the band and then sang a song about the flood. Manchester United are getting into a flood, and that flood is getting worse, and it is sinking us. We are sinking. We are a ship and we are sinking. We are papering over the cracks again. And blame Ten Hag as much as you want. But if you sack Ten Hag, what do we do? What do we do? Because I don't want an interim brought in again, because the players will down tools even more. And they'll give up and they'll throw away the season. And then a new manager will be brought in the summer. And then, right, I don't want him and I don't want him, but as for him, I want him kept. Because money, again, is going to have to be spent in the summer as well as January now, because United haven't got the quality to finish this season off. What's the big plan now? Try and win the Europa Conference. Try and qualify for the Europa Conference League and win the FA Cup. Is that the big plan? Has that been the plan all along? Did Manchester United knew they were screwed in the Champions League? Did they knew they were going to screw up this league season? Because clearly they talked and talked about how great pre-season was, how fantastic we were, and how great we were playing. Pre-season means fuck all in terms of the real life situation. We weren't prepared for this season. We were massively left behind by our rivals, and everyone around us improved their teams. What did Manchester United do? We waited till the last day of the transfer window to sign Reguilon, a goalkeeper from Fenerbahce who doesn't get a kick of a ball, a midfielder that everyone crucifies but is actually quite decent, and basically don't sign Harry Kane, don't sign Osman, didn't get him Gakpo or Dion or Felix or Frimpong. If you would have added all them to the Man United team, we'd have won the league last season. We would have won the league this season. The quality would have been there to get Manchester United back to success. If you add those players into that team now, we'd be a lot better, but we don't have the pull power. We're not a big, attractive club. And people think we're a big club. We're not. We are not a big football club. After today, things have got to start changing, and very, very quickly. If we're going to have to go and win the FA Cup, let's go and do it. If we're going to have to try and qualify the Europa Conference League, we are going to have to face fact that we are a joke, we're a laughing stock, we're abysmal, we're embarrassing, we're shocking, we're pathetic. I'm embarrassed right now. I am really, really embarrassed. Losing to Forest is a massive step backwards again. Back to square number one. Same old United, same old story. Nothing changes. This leopard doesn't change its spots. These players are not willing to try. They're not willing to put their effort in, and they're not willing to give their all in a Man United shirt. I would sell all that team in a heartbeat and get better players in. League One and League Two players would actually put a shift into that Man United team. They would put an absolute shift into play for Man United, because they know what absolute honour and privilege it would be to represent the Manchester United Football Club on and off the pitch. Those players are too busy dealing with their own overhyped egos, their own overrated egos, and when the going gets tough, Manchester United give up. It is unfucking acceptable, and I'm done with it. I am sick and tired of it. Things have got to change under Ten Hag. Certain players need to be dropped. Certain players need to be sold. After that, chop that team in half and get rid of the dead wood, because there's too much of it carrying on playing for this club, representing themselves in the United ship when they're not fucking good enough. Get these players out, because I'm sick of them. Don't blame Ten Hag. He's doing what he can. But what's he meant to do with a shit squad? What's he meant to do? What is he meant to do? That is my big question today. And as for the player of the match or man of the match award, none of them are getting it. if anyone's going to get player of the match or man of the match award, it's going to those fans and those away supporters today who have given up their own time, energy, money, food, drink, hotels and travel to go watch that pile of shit play in their last game of 2023, which has been a fucking nightmare for this football club. So the fan supporters get my player of the match. So I hope you enjoyed the last reaction of 2023 in this year for Manchester United Football Club. Hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. United Red Devils 20 on YouTube. Share the video, hit the tweet button, hit the retweet button. Remember to always put that notification bell, put the bell on at all times for dedicated content. In these last 2 days in 2023, today and tomorrow, brand new content plan for 2024. We're bringing in Call of Duty. We're bringing in a new Avatar game, hopefully a new Spyro game, GTA 6 in 2 years, EA's bought FC 25. And our next preview will be in 2 weeks' time, next Friday, because we don't play now till next Friday because we're out of everything else. We've got no football. Oh, we're going to have a week break. Yeah. Great. That's great, isn't it? So that would be for the preview of the FA Cup third round away to League One Wigan. So join me for that next Friday, early hours of that morning for the Wigan Man United preview of the FA Cup third round. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy New Year's Eve. Enjoy New Year's Day. You're all legends. You're all legendary. You're all amazing. Thanks for the support and love and, kindness you all shown me this year. Hopefully the channel gets bigger and better for all of you. New games to come, brand new content to come. And hopefully Manchester United will pick things up. But after today, it won't surprise me if we make a decision about the manager, but Ten Hag ain't to blame. Ten Hag is not to blame. But certain players need to be sold, certain players need to be dropped, and certain players need to be removed from the squad altogether. Because if we carry on like this, we're not even going to get top half. Carry on like this, we are going to finish in the bottom of the Premier League half for the first time ever since we got relegated under George Graham. Remember that. Remember that. United could finish bottom half in the Premier League this season. Watch this space. But yeah, enjoy your weekend. Enjoy New Year's Eve. Enjoy the new year. And yeah, be back very soon for more brand new content for 2024. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.